For average citizens, a sudden medical bill means financial ruin. Inside government halls, however, 1 billion pesos flows like a standard administrative expense. Take Philippine House Speaker Martin Romualdez. When confronted recently with a massive flood control corruption scandal, his defense was simple. He claimed he was merely a political scapegoat. His logic relies on a technicality. Congress is a legislative body. They pass laws. They don't actually pour the concrete or lay the pipes for public works projects. Speaker Romualdez's focus on public infrastructure ignores the massive financial machine he oversees directly, the House's own internal operating budget. Under this roof, the leadership dictates exactly how that money flows. The valve controlling that flow is the Accounts Committee, a designation so powerful that Romualdez entrusted it to exactly one person, his wife, Representative Yeda Romualdez. Look at the data. The executive branch initially proposed a budget for Congress of around 16 billion pesos, but by the time the House was done approving its own funding, that number had swelled to 33.6 billion pesos, a sudden, unexplained 17 billion peso inflation. The most lucrative scheme isn't buried in substandard public works projects. It operates in plain sight, engineered directly into the daily budget of the House itself. To authorize an inflation of this scale, you need legal cover. That starts with a constitutional principle known as fiscal autonomy. As a co-equal branch of government, Congress has the right to manage its own internal affairs and funds. But that independence is stretched to its absolute limit through a specific procedural loophole known as Concurrent Resolution Number 10. This resolution carved out a massive exception for a budget category called Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses, or MOOE. It effectively walled off billions of pesos from standard government auditing rules. Instead of providing actual payrolls, vendor invoices, or official receipts to prove where the money went, lawmakers use a mechanism called liquidation by certification. They simply provide a single signature declaring on their honor that the money was spent appropriately. A system originally designed to handle minor office expenses operates as a legally protected honor system, granting politicians a blank check with zero required proof of purchase. How exactly do lawmakers funnel billions of taxpayer pesos into this unaudited category without tripping any alarms? It takes 3 steps. Step 1. Congress requests massively inflated budgets for heavily audited categories, like personnel services and capital outlays. These buckets are deliberately bloated beyond any realistic need. Step 2. Since they never actually needed that much money for staff or equipment, they intentionally leave vast sums of it unspent. Under the rules, they can then legally declare that leftover money as internal savings. Step 3. Invoking their fiscal autonomy, House leadership takes those manufactured savings out of the heavily audited categories and pours them directly into the receipt-free MOOE bucket. This is a precise, multi-step money laundering process executed entirely within the boundaries of the law. When you cross-reference this newly bloated budget with official state audit reports, the justifications for these transfers break down. Take the budget for terminal leave, the cash value for unused vacation days. Historical spending hovered around a few million pesos, but as the 2025 midterm elections approach, that single line item inexplicably spiked to 1.4 billion pesos. Then look at logistical expenses. For years, the actual recorded spend for postage and courier services was around 280 million. The new budget allocates a staggering 1.89 billion pesos just to send mail. Consider the allocation for advertising and promotions, a category that historically cost single-digit millions, ballooned to over 600 million pesos, allowing sitting lawmakers to fund their own marketing campaigns straight from the state ledger. Even the utility bills defy logic. The House recently touted a massive investment in cost-saving, solar-powered infrastructure, yet their projected electricity budget spiked by over 500 million pesos. These line items prove the internal House budget has detached from its institutional purpose, operating instead as a highly efficient extraction machine. Keeping an extraction machine of this size running requires absolute silence. It survives because a vast network of allied lawmakers directly benefits from this artificially inflated budget, securing their loyalty to the Speaker. Even the Commission on Audit, the nation's primary financial watchdog, is constitutionally handicapped. When presented with a signed piece of paper under the liquidation by certification rule, their mandate stops. They cannot demand the underlying receipts. The House functions as a closed-loop syndicate, where neutralized auditors and a profiting membership have replaced the transparency of a democratic legislative body. The billions circulating inside that closed loop are pulled directly from the national treasury. This artificial inflation drains critical fiscal space. It defunds public health programs, delays essential infrastructure, and guts the social protections meant for citizens who are one medical emergency away from bankruptcy. Removing a single speaker won't fix this. Real accountability requires completely dismantling the liquidation by certification loophole that enables the theft in the first place. Because as long as the system allows politicians to legally sign away billions on their honor alone, the public's money will